I remember a time when, before the IPL started, we'd look at the strengths and weaknesses of the teams, we'd analyze them, and eventually wonder which three teams would make the playoffs. Because you just assumed that CSK would. I think, it went on almost till about 2019 or so. Look what's happened thereafter. The last 3 years are actually a very good indicator. There's been a 9th place, there's been a 5th place, and in between, that great finish in Ahmedabad, one of the great IPL matches of all time. So there's a little bit of topsy-turvy with CSK, and maybe a little bit of that predictability, a little bit of that aura has got reduced. You might say it's correlated to Dhoni playing a maybe less important role, but that would be unfair on all the other players who made CSK this great franchise. So let's look at what we've got this year. It's a very CSK combination. They love their bowling and they've given themselves lots of bowling options. If the ball is going to turn in Chennai, they've got Ashwin, they've got Jadeja, they've got Noor Ahmed, a little bit of Ravindra back up in Shreyas Gopal. If they've got to travel well, or if Chennai is producing a good wicket one day with a lot of bounce and carry, they've got Khalil Ahmed. I really do like Anshul Kamboj. They've got Mukesh Chaudhary as a backup, and they've got very good overseas stocks. Patirana, whom they love, who will play almost every game if he's fit. Nathan Ellis is a good backup. Overton, Sam Curran. So they've stocked their side. You look at that side and you say there is absolutely no problem with the bowling. Now, what did CSK do when they were playing at their very best? They always had a fantastic opening combination. You go back to the early days when they were making their name. You had Murli Vijay and Matthew Hayden, or you had Murli Vijay along with, say, a Mike Hussey. Then in between, a Brendan McCullum and a Dwayne Smith. There was Shane Watson for a while. Then Faf du Plessis came in. What a player he was for CSK. So Faf du Plessis, Ruturaj Gaikwad started to form a combination with him. Then Ruturaj Gaikwad and Devon Conway. For CSK to do well, and one of the reasons CSK didn't do as well last year was that they didn't have a great opening partnership. They need their openers to come together and fire well, and that's why they've gone out of the way to get Devon Conway back. And just in case there's an issue, they've also brought Ravindra back. The one major issue that CSK will have to resolve. You look down that side and they will say, I wish we had one powerful middle order batter. They've got Shivam Dube, they use him more as a finisher down at 5 or 6. But they'll wish they had someone in that sort of 4-5 combination. They've got 3 options to choose from over there. They've got Rahul Tripathi, who's a very busy player. I've got a lot of time for Rahul Tripathi. They've got Vijay Shankar in there, and they've actually gone out and got Deepak Hooda now. All these 3, each of these 3 is a very good player, but in recent times their numbers are not great, so they'll have to overperform. So that is potentially one issue that CSK will have to solve. And then there is the third big factor for CSK, and that is MS Dhoni. Is MS Dhoni going to be the Dhoni of 2024? He was carrying an injury. Remember, he went and had surgery immediately after the IPL was over. And so he wasn't very brisk between wickets, which is very unlike Dhoni. He was fine keeping the wickets, but he'd come bat 8 balls, 9 balls, 10 balls, swing his bat. If you're going to get a fully fit Dhoni, perfectly at home, coming in batting at 7, even if it means some days coming in into the 12th and 13th over, then the entire balance of the side changes. If, however, it is the Dhoni of 24 again, and you're only budgeting that he comes and slogs the last 10 or 12 balls, then you've got to make allowances for that. So let's look at how the teams stack up with Dhoni, proper Dhoni, dare I say, at number 7, or the Dhoni of 2024. Now, Dhoni batting at number 7, then suddenly you get a beautifully balanced side. You open with Gaikwad, Conway, you can play Ravindra. Then only one of those 3 middle order players, maybe a Tripathi at 4, Dube, Jadeja, Dhoni. Now see what that does. You've got 2 overseas players only so far, and now you can use that flexibility in your choice of overseas bowlers. So Ashwin will play number 8. If you want an extra spinner to play, then you get Noor Ahmed in. If you still think, no, I want that batting depth, I want a seam-up bowler who can take pace off, you can still play Curran. So depending on whether you want the extra seamer or the extra spinner, you can play either Noor or Curran, and then you can play 2 proper fast bowlers in Khalil Ahmed and Anshul Kamboj, or maybe Mukesh Chaudhary. Anshul Kamboj has been very impressive through the domestic season, and CSK in recent times have always had two proper fast bowlers playing. So this looks very good. It also allows you with the impact sub to play a Patirana or maybe occasionally a Nathan Ellis in that role and maybe take out one of the top order batters. So it looks very well balanced. Now, the moment Dhoni has to bat at 8 maybe or float, let's look at the same lineup again. You've got Gaikwad, Conway, Ravindra still in there, but now you've got to play the extra batter. So Tripathi and maybe a Huda up there, Dubey, Jadeja, Dhoni. Now suddenly you've got lesser degrees of freedom with the bowling, and maybe one of the Indian fast bowlers goes out or one of the Indian middle order batters goes out. So it looks slightly unbalanced, the team, because either you've got too much batting at the top to cover up for Dhoni or maybe you're playing a bowling option short. So overall, it's a pretty well balanced side. The air in that CSK camp is always good. Players come there, they become better players. I'd like to see Sam Curran having a big season because I still think he's a gun T20 player. If I had to pick one variable for CSK, it would be how the top three play. I think if the top three play well, they've got a chance to make the playoff. If the top three don't play well, then they're struggling a bit.